Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel for our UFC 285 preview. I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Callum Sanderson. How are we doing?
UFC's back. Johnny Bones Jones is back.
He's back. The
I'm
year
looking
of
forward.
returns and the king is back. Arguably people's GOAT. We'll discuss that later on.
Yeah.
But looking at this card from the prelims, this is probably one of the most stacked cards of the year so far.
Card of the year for sure. So far, card of the year. I know
On
it's March.
paper,
Yeah.
on paper, it's card of
Phenomenal.
the year, but the name values, like, we just touch on the prelims quickly. Like, this is some of the level of caliber we've got on the prelims. Derek Brunson, Duplessis, Cody Garbrandt,
Brilliant.
Amanda Ribas.
Mm.
Quality. But let's start with the main card, the opener. UFC debutant Bo Nickel making his UFC debut against Jamie Pickett. I think this matchup was due before Christmas, before the new year, but I think one of them got injured, so it was pushed back to this card.
Yeah.
But lots of hype around Bo Nickel, what he did in the Contender Series. He's been very highly thought about. His wrestling apparently is next level. Callum, how do you feel like he's going to do against Jamie Pickett?
This is sort of like, I hate to use the term a hand me fight, but if there's going to be someone that you kind of want to build up, is Bo Nickel. If I'm not mistaken, he's only had 3 professional fights, but his wrestling resume is, apart from maybe Henry Cejudo, he's probably got the best wrestling resume in all of MMA history, and he's just getting started. He's young, but not just that. It seems as though he's able to use his power from wrestling and generate that into knockout, which makes him even more dangerous. And in his last Contender Series fight, he transitions into a triangle choke. That's jiu-jitsu. So already he's displaying that he's got all the criteria and all the qualities to be a well-rounded MMA fighter. But that wrestling, we all know wrestling is that foundation where if you can grapple and you can wrestle really well, you can save yourself in so many situations. And Pickett's got good power, good combos, etc. But the wrestling, the confidence from Bo Nickel, I think this is a Bo win.
How do you see it going, though? Because I'm just looking at the tail of the tape. Pickett's got an 80-inch reach for more than Bo Nickel. Do you think he's going to be able to use that reach at all, or do you think Nickel's going to be able to close it down, get the takedown early, and then work from there?
I think Bo gets the takedown quite early and asserts his dominance on the ground through ground and pound and searching for submissions. I think it ends on the ground. I don't see it ending on the feet. I see it ending on the ground, but I think it happens within the first round.
Where would you rank him as, like, one of the hottest prospects? Because obviously with hot prospects, they come in massive hype. But where does he rank in terms of, wow, this guy's going to be like the next big thing?
Might be the hottest prospect at the moment.
Wow.
In terms of over the years, you think of people like Sage Northcutt,
like even Raul Rosas Jr., like, he's got like crazy hype.
He has, because of his age, but if you look at the resume of Bo Nickel, like the wrestling resume, and the fact that he's already trained at ATT and holding his own at ATT, like Masvidal doesn't really speak highly of loads of people. He speaks highly of Bo Nickel. I think there's something special with this guy. He might be what
Hamzat special.
MMA. Say again, sorry?
Like Hamzat special, because when Hamzat came in, he was a killer with the wrestling, the takedown.
So here's the thing: Hamzat wasn't a prospect. Hamzat became a killer in front of us, whereas Bo Nickel's coming in as a prospect. That's why I didn't include Hamzat. Hamzat is a special fighter. Would like to see him a bit more active, especially over the last year or so. I just think there's something about Bo. Bo, for me, is what I think a lot of MMA fans thought Ben Askren would be.
Wow. Talk about...
I see him being very, very... Because you look at the wrestling credentials in the middleweight division, barring Vettori, Brunson, and Rob Whittaker,
There's a gap.
There's a big, and even those, you wouldn't class any of those as elite wrestlers.
Maybe Jack
He comes
Hermanson.
in. Nah, I wouldn't even say. I think he right now straight away is the best wrestler. Well, he is. It's no debate. He's the best wrestler in the 185 division. It's just whether or not he can take a punch or he can evade punches very well.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big thing for me, because when you get someone that's got massive expectations, a top level wrestler, it's how he's going to deal on the feet. Because as cliche as it sounds, every fight starts on the feet, and it's going to be how his stand up game is. Because if he's got good stand up game, then he'll be fine. Because the stand up game can grow the longer that he's in. But I feel like, as you said earlier, it's a perfect pick me opponent. Because if he looks good, then I don't know if the UFC are going to strap the rocket on him straight away, or are they going to give him time? Because my only issue is, the second you strap the rocket on him and he loses, how quickly is that hype going to go from there all the way down there?
I don't think it will go quickly with him. I don't.
Do you think like he'll take a couple of unranked guys, then he'll slowly make his way into the top 15, like fight someone like a Brendan Allen?
So I'm looking at. All right. So Brendan Allen just came off a good win the other day.
So who you rank around number 8 to 10?
So Brendan Allen's ranked 12. He beat Andre Muniz, who's ranked 13. Let's say he comes through this fight in impressive fashion. I would not be surprised. I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see him go straight away with a top 15 opponent. It could possibly be Brendan Allen, or even the winner of Duplessis and
or the loser of Duplessis Brunson.
Or the loser, yeah. I could see him go straight into the top 15.
Right, predictions time, Callum.
Yeah.
How are we seeing it?
Bo Nickal's first round stoppage.
I'm going to knockout or submission.
I'm going to go sub, head and arm triangle.
I'm going to go second round submission. Bo Nickel, rear naked.
Yeah.
Okay, so talk about one quality fight. Let's go on to the next one.
This is the
Jalen Turner versus is it Mateus Gamrot?
Yeah.
I don't want to butcher his name because he'll butcher me. Of course. Late replacement for Jalen Turner.
Dan Hooker.
Dan Hooker was the guy before, but this is even a better fight on paper now. This is a better fight for Jalen Turner because of where the rankings are. But how are we seeing this? Because for me, Jalen Turner's a special fighter at lightweight because he's so big for the weight class.
Yeah.
I think it's like 6'4". People thought, he's going to struggle cutting weight. Apparently, he finds it easy to cut weight.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a problem.
So
how are we seeing it with the wrestling of Gamrot? Is Jalen going to struggle?
So here's the thing. I'd say this is a bigger opportunity for Jalen Turner. I don't think it's a better fight. I think the Dan Hooker fight suited him way more. Way more, because Dan Hooker likes to get into a tear-up. Gamrot, I don't think is going to do that. And I don't know if this has come too soon for Jalen Turner. I really rate Jalen Turner.
The tarantula.
His eye for a combination, for a strike, his finishing prowess, how devastating he can be once he gets someone hurt is really, really good. Gamrot is just so good though in the grappling exchanges, and his big thing is a single leg. That's his. Everyone, it's like we follow football. It's like everyone knows Messi's going to cut in on his left foot, but no one can stop him. Yeah. His single leg's like that. You all know he's going to go for the single leg. And when you've got someone, or you're fighting someone with long limbs, the single leg's always there. It's always there. And I don't think he's going to stand there and try and trade with Jalen Turner. It'd be crazy to do that when he knows.
After the Dariush fight, because you saw the Dariush fight, he went very grapple heavy.
Yeah.
And he also got caught with a left hand that Dariush just ran his bell. So it shows that he can get hit. I'm just thinking that if he gets hit from a left from Jalen Turner,
it could be
just folded like a deck chair.
Yeah.
It'd be so interesting because it's definitely a harder fight on paper, but Gamrot's sitting just outside the top 5. If Jalen Turner gets a big win, then you're looking at like Fiziev, Gaethje, Dustin, Charles.
It becomes very interesting. I feel as though we're having like a rebuild or a fresh of the lightweight division as we speak.
Because all I'm seeing is killers. Just killers everywhere. Killers
but
in the
it feels
top.
like we're kind of like the Poiriers and the Gaethjes are starting to kind of waver off a little bit and starting to drop in terms of how often they fight. And the Drew Dobers, the Jalen Turners, and these fighters now are the Rafa Fizievs. They're starting to come to the fore and go, we're hungry. We're the new breed. You've already got Makachev as a new breed at the top. Charles Oliveira as well.
Thing is, like, the division is pretty booked. You'll probably get Dustin versus Islam for the belt. Charles versus Dariush.
I think we need to do a show on that because I
don't think he deserves it. But that's definitely a show. Got Fiziev versus Gaethje for UFC London.
Don't forget about Moicano sitting out. He's 13th in the rankings. Moicano.
Another killer.
Moicano wants money.
Moicano wants money. Moicano
wants money.
He needs a body to fight.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting because there's just killers everywhere. Like, I don't see anyone in the top 15 that is not a killer. Maybe Grant Dawson, maybe. Apart from that, like, I'm just seeing killers, finishers. It's going to be so interesting because he can position himself nicely to get possibly the winner of Gaethje Fiziev. Possibly.
Yeah. Or if he gets a really good win, if he uses Mike well, could maybe even call out Dustin.
Or calls out Dustin to... I don't think Dustin would take the fight. I just don't think Dustin would take it because the way that he's talking about, like, I don't know what he's been told or he's waiting for a title shot.
But if he's going to get a title shot, he's not going to get one until at least September, I don't think.
After Ramadan.
Yeah, but Ramadan's April. So that's going to be 40 days. So that takes you into the middle of May.
Where are we up to, like, with UFC events, like the big cards? I think 288 was the last one that got, like...
I don't think Islam's going to fight again until September. Because if he's observing Ramadan until, let's say, the middle of May, then his body's going to need to readjust to what's going back to training as well as dieting and all that. That's going to take at least another 3-4 weeks to adjust. And then from there, you go into a fight camp. I think you're looking at September the earliest. Is Dustin going to sit around and wait till September?
Possibly. He'll do a Colby. He'll hate it. If anyone ever sends that to him, then I'm done. Because he's going to do a Colby. I reckon he'll wait. I reckon he's got enough pull to go, yeah, I'll sit this out.
I mean, he's 1-1 in his last 2. He had a title fight, lost it, and then beat Chandler. And Chandler's 1-3, right? So he lost against Oliveira.
2-3.
So he lost against Oliveira, then lost Hooker. Against. No, but I'm talking about since Hooker. So he lost against Oliveira, then lost against Gaethje, beat Ferguson, and then lost against Poirier. So can you justify getting a title shot after beating someone who's 1-3? And he almost got finished in that fight himself.
No, but this is the UFC. This is Dana. Dana makes the rules. For me, if it's me booking that division, it should be Dariush versus Makachev.
Yeah, but saying that, I'm so surprised Dariush took this fight against Oliveira. But again, maybe it's because he was told
that you're going to have to wait, and he's like, waiting, I'm going to get in.
Yeah.
But back to Turner versus Gamrot. How are we seeing this? Because for me, this is potentially fight of the night for me. Potentially.
I don't think it will be. I think this will be the fight where we look at and go, Turner's going to be brilliant in the future, but he's got to work on his wrestling. I think Gamrot's going to shut him out in a decision win. I don't think it's going to be very entertaining. If Gamrot's going to win this fight, it can't be entertaining. It can't be. It'd be crazy.
100%. Yes, I think you're right. I think he's going to take a lot out of the Dariush fight, knowing that he needs to mix it up a little bit. But I think he's going to be very wrestle heavy, and I've got a bad feeling that I wanted to be fight of the night, but I've got a bad feeling like you that Gamrot's going to shut him out, and it's going to be like, it's a prospect, but he needs to work on his wrestling. So I'll probably go Gamrot decision as well. Next fight, welterweight division, Jeff Neal versus Shavkat Rakhmonov.
This for me is potentially fight of the night.
Fight of the night for Shavkat, you mean? Because Shavkat, 16-0, 16 finishes. This guy does not know what the judges' scorecards is, and I cannot see the judges' scorecards again. This time
Here's
around.
the thing: he's never fought anyone as hard hitting as Jeff Neal, though, or anyone as durable as Jeff Neal. That being said, he's so well rounded. He is Khamzat without the hype
and without the weight issues.
Yeah,
he's like a quieter version of Khamzat.
Yeah,
I don't see many interviews of him.
Shall I tell you who he reminds me of? He reminds me of when Usman was climbing the rankings.
No one wanted to fight
in a more exciting, in a more exciting way though, where you're not speaking about him loads, but in the back of your mind, you're like, he's a problem. He's going to be a problem when people start fighting him, or he's going to become an issue. And now he's an issue. And he's quality, man. I love watching him fight. I do like Jeff Neal as well. But I gotta be honest, I gotta go with Shavkat. I can't see how Jeff Neal gets the job done because Shavkat's so well rounded. You'd have to catch him really early, I think.
I've got a feeling that we're going to see another finish because I reckon he's that good. If I'm Leon Edwards, I'm looking, thinking, holy, someone please beat him before he gets to me.
Leon's cool, man. Leon's got this.
But Leon,
headshot, head, bang.
But if we look at the rankings, Jeff Neal is 7, Shavkat is 9. 9? He's level with. He's 10. He's basically 10. I don't know what the UFC rankings are.
Yeah.
But let's say he beats Jeff Neal. He'll probably be ranked. I'll probably say he'll go above Wonderboy, so he'll be 6. And then the top 5 is Burns, Bilal, Khamzat, Colby, Usman. But Usman and Leon booked.
Yeah.
Wonderboy's turned him down because it was obvious Wonderboy turned him down. He said, I wanted to fight a striker.
Yeah.
Colby, don't know what's going on with him.
Don't know what the hell's going on with Colby.
Khamzat, for me, Dana said he'll give him one more chance at 70. Heard no fight news about him whatsoever. So
isn't Khamzat, isn't he injured or something? Or
I don't know. Know. Nothing's been said about him at the moment.
Put it this way, if Shavkat beats Jeff Neal, the next fight to make is him and Khamzat. Cannot hold this division up.
It should be Burns. It should be him versus Burns because I reckon if Leon is successful, they'll do him versus Bilal next for the belt.
Yeah, and then you do Khamzat.
Oh no, I forgot. Gilbert's got Jorge in April.
Yeah.
So you do. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I think Bilal Muhammad is. I think Bilal Muhammad is the backup fighter for London.
Is that been confirmed yet?
I don't think it's been confirmed, but I feel like he is. It would make sense for him to be.
Well, if then you look at maybe Shavkat versus Luke, Shavkat versus Brady, but that's not a step up, and that's where there's a bit of a bottleneck at welterweight.
Him and Khamzat. Do him and Khamzat. Khamzat ain't got a fight book.
A feeling that you can get more money out of it if one of them's holding gold.
I don't care about the money. I want to see the fight. Remember them, because here's the thing. It's not like with boxing where if someone's O goes, the fight doesn't become intriguing. Whoever wins this fight, we can run it back and do a rematch. And you're like, yeah, we'll see that again.
Yeah, sound. That is probably the fight to make. I think the bro said that they'd be up for it, but I don't know about Khamzat. I just don't know where he is, injury wise, weight wise. If he's going to fight at middleweight again,
He has to fight well. We need to see him at work again. I've got a hot take for you though, bro.
Yeah.
Wonderboy Thompson says he only really wants to fight strikers.
Yeah.
As him versus Jack Della Maddalena.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Dana, I've got a matchmaker for you. Mr. Sanderson.
I won't come cheap, though. I won't come cheap. You got to pay me and you got to pay Luke. Yeah. Package deal, bro.
Hey, that'd be a hell of a fight, you know. Rank number 14 as well. Massive step up. So how are we seeing that fight, Shavkat versus Neal? Because for me, there's only one winner.
I think Shavkat gets a finish in the third by submission. But I think we see very good striking exchanges and a very good fight, competitive fight up until the third round. And I think he gets a submission in the third. Rear naked, I reckon.
So I am probably going to go second round finish by strikes.
Okay.
I reckon TKO finish. Right. Co-main event. Women's flyweight title. Get to see the return of Valentina Shevchenko versus Alexa Grasso. First Mexican woman to fight for a UFC title. So fun little fact there.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time in a year since we've seen Valentina. I think it was this time last year we saw a fight Talia Santos.
Yeah, Talia Santos, yeah.
She's not been active, not through her fault because she's been wanting to be active. I think it's been finding opponents. Shock when you've cleared out your division.
Yeah, did she get an injury as well? I think she got a small injury of some sort as well.
I think she got like a minor, like a 2-week injury or something like that. No, Valentina.
Yeah,
like a broken arm. That she'll probably like put back in.
Yeah, a week and a half.
But this is like a big fight because there's been a lot of talk by Erin Blanchfield about the ground game doesn't look good. I've worked her out. Valentina getting a little bit, calling her a little puppy, like Macy Barber, all talk. I'm thinking, I like that fire, but completely missing out the opponent, Alexa Grasso, who's a problem. Yeah. It's a big problem.
The thing is, Alexa Grasso is a problem. She's very good on the feet.
Good ground game as well. Beat Joanne Wood by submission.
Yeah, but we love JoJo, but JoJo's never been the best on the ground herself. So
yeah,
Valentina on the ground, on the feet is elite.
Thing is,
shot selection, everything elite.
I'm looking at Alexa's resume. The last win was against her last 3 wins, 2 by decision, 1 by submission. Her last win was against Vivian Araujo, who's fighting on the prelims.
Yeah, against
by decision. So it doesn't fill me with if you're thinking, oh, she's gonna be the one. Unfortunately, I don't think she's gonna be the one. I reckon it's gonna be a good fight for however long Valentina wants to shake off the ring rust for.
I was going to say, I think that's the one thing Alexa Grasso is maybe going to think and look at and think, is she going to be a bit ring rusty? Because if she is, then she's got a chance. But this is Valentina. When do we see her rusty?
The thing is, it's only if Valentina takes her eye off the ball, and by the sounds of her comments, she seems hungry. I think she seems hungry to shut people. Well, not to shut people up, to tell the young bucks, hold on, I'm not done yet.
I'm not done.
And
she's 34 now, so she's not even. She's still in her prime.
She's in her pomp, and I'm just going to get the division rankings up. I think Alexa Grasso's, is ranked number 1.
No, I don't think she's that high. I think she's quite low in the rankings.
I'll have a look. I think it was.
Grasso's ranked 6th, bro.
What?
Yeah, but think about it.
People already.
Yeah, but all right. So everyone, she's beat Jennifer Maia. She beat Lauren Murphy. Lauren Murphy was 2nd up until recently. She beat Chukagian. She's beat Andrade. She beat Talia Santos. She beats Alexa Grasso. The only 2 left in the top 8. In the top 9, she wouldn't have beat.
Right.
Bro, so from 9 rankings. So Jennifer Maia beat. No, she's not fought Araujo. but
Yeah.
Arujo can't get the title shot. Murphy she beat. If she beats Grasso, she should have beaten Grasso. Shukagian, Jessica Andrade, she ragdolled. Talia Santos, again, debatable decision. I thought he'd done enough.
Need to run that back.
Yeah, they do. But then if she beats Grasso and then she beats Blanchfield and Mano Fiore, which I reckon they should make Blanchfield versus Mano Fiore for number one contender.
It's not been Casey O'Neill, but she's got to come back. She's on the early prelims for UFC London. I've got to do a video about that. I think the placing for UFC London, fighters on the card, is nothing short of a disgrace. The way they've put fighters, utter disgrace. But we'll touch on that closer to the time. But for me, she's pretty much cleared out the division, and like every win she racks is like it's strengthening her GOAT status in women's mixed martial arts.
It is.
I don't think she needs to have a trilogy with Nunes to be considered the GOAT. She just needs to carry on cleaning out the division, beat the young bucks, because she's beaten the old guard. She needs to beat all the young up and comers. Like Blanche.
I think she does.
I don't think Nunes is going to sit there and saying, "I beat her twice. I don't need to beat her again." So that's the thing is holding it up.
I think that fight. Here's the thing. This is what they could do. I'm going to play matchmaker a little bit.
I love it.
If she beats Grasso, Nunes and Pena, is that confirmed yet?
Nope.
Give Pena a little money to sit aside, be a backup fighter. If she beats Grasso, you do Nunes versus Valentina one more time.
Are you doing it because Amanda might be on the way out and you want to get that done quick? Because for me, it's not if Valentina's done, it's if Nunes is done. I just get that feeling like she's like a fight away from hanging it up.
That's what I mean. But I think if Amanda wins that fight, that's the last fight for her and she's done.
Oh, that's be such a close fight like that. That's probably the biggest fight I need to see this year, but just don't think it happens.
I think that we March, book that for International Fight Week.
Get that on McGregor under.
Winner takes all. For the GOAT status.
The GOAT status, as Bisping wants a £130 title, the women's BMF. I'm thinking, let's drain Nunes even more.
I'd be down for. I think that's the fight, but she's got to get past Grasso first, and I think she will. I think she stops Grasso in the second round.
I'm about to say predictions.
I'm going for ground and pound as well. I think she takes her down, crucifix position, just weighs in punches and elbows.
Boom.
It gets stopped.
I'm gonna be a little bit kinder. I'm gonna go third round stoppage for Valentina, and it'll be Anne Stale, your UFC Flyweight champion. The main event, the one you've all been waiting for. It's gonna get juicy. It's gonna get controversial.
Yeah.
We have the GOAT returning. No, it's not the real GOAT, George St. Pierre. It's not GOAT. He is returning to finally, 10 years after he said he'll make it, his UFC heavyweight debut against Ciryl Gane for the UFC Heavyweight Title. Not Francis Ngannou, who is against Ciryl Gane. Big fight. So many questions that I've still got in my head about John Jones's return to heavyweight. His comments about Ngannou, his comments about Gane, Gane's comments about the fight as well. Just mind-boggling. Where do you want to unpack it?
Let me start at MMA GOAT.
I did that on purpose, you see.
John Jones should be the MMA GOAT, resume-wise and everything. He should be. He actually should be the MMA GOAT. But I don't know if we can ever give him that title because he's someone that has done so much outside the octagon. Plus, I can't just turn a blind eye to the failed tests. And it's not just the most recent, it's all the failed tests he's had. His resume is the best of any fighter ever, in my opinion. In terms of who he's conquered and who he's beat. He's undefeated. He hasn't got a defeat in my eyes.
Yeah.
But those infringements that he's got, they have to play a role. And here's the thing, I don't even get annoyed and look at like the Santos fight and the Reyes fight, where in my opinion he actually lost those on the scorecard, but he got the decision. Because everyone forgets GSP got some favorable decisions as well. Every fighter gets favorable decisions. Volk, we speak about Volk as the pound for pound number one. Volk, in my opinion, lost his second fight to Max Holloway. Every fighter gets favorable decisions. It happens. Boy, it is with Jones though. You never know until he's in the octagon whether he's actually going to fight or not. Because we've done all this build up, we've anticipated it. Until I see him step into the octagon, I'm not. There's that something in the back of my mind goes, don't mess this up.
Yeah.
So in terms of MMA GOAT, resume and all that, yeah. If you're just looking at the pure talent of him and execution of the talent, no one will ever come close, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like so many techniques he's mastered and revolutionized and almost brought in. He's got to be up there, but for me, could never be the actual GOAT. And it's such a shame. If anyone deserves it, it's him. But then again, GSP, Mighty Mouse, I hold them two up there. Like, so
yeah. I think for me, like, I think I'll echo some of the stuff you said. For me, best resume in the game. Best resume in the game. Youngest champ in the game. But for me, just like Callum said, like, he will never be my GOAT. He will never be my GOAT. And the main thing, not about what the stuff he's done outside the octagon with the trouble with the police. It's popping for drugs. Because there's a big thing about, steroid taking and stuff like that. There was uproar with when Lance Armstrong took it for cycling. That I can see why people were pissed. But I sort of got it at the same time because you're not hurting anyone. You're just cycling. But in combat sport, where you could end up killing someone or really damaging them, for me,
or their career, changing their direction of their career.
Jon Jones is lucky to still be fighting because for me, like, if you get caught popping in fighting, you should be banned for life. No return. No coming
unless
back.
You can prove it was by accident, like Yoel Romero did, for example.
Yeah. So for me, that's why he'll never be the GOAT in my eyes, but he is undoubtedly the most talented person to ever put on a pair of 4-ounce gloves.
Facts.
He's got so many tools in his arsenal. It is unbelievable. The fact that he even thought he needed to take drugs in the first place is mind-boggling that he needed to even take them. And
here's a killer. Because of such inactivity through suspensions and all the other stuff outside, we haven't even probably seen how much he could have actually conquered.
Yeah, like if you would have made the jump earlier to heavyweight, could have beat a prime Stipe.
Ngannou, Cain Velasquez,
Ngannou. Like we'll never see that. I feel like so much has been taken away through his suspensions, through his antics. Like yes, we've seen the very best of him at light heavyweight, but at the end, he got bored. He got sloppy. I think that's the one thing. Like, yes, he found a way to win in some of the fights that he was very dubious to have won. Santos, Smith should have lost the title against Smith. It's only because Smith was a good sportsman that carried on the fight, because he could have been easily disqualified from that fight. Reyes, he was lucky to escape.
On that Smith, sorry to cut you, on the Smith thing, we speak about, I actually think that's more on the referee. I don't think the fight should have to make that decision. In no other sport.
Smith, I'm being shameless. No, but it's
not even that. In any other sport, you like, if someone makes a foul, even in football, when someone makes a foul, you don't go to the person who's been fouled and go, do you want this penalty or do you want this free kick? You, as the referee, you give it. You give it. Really and truly, the referee should have declared whether it's a disqualification or not, and it should have been because Smith was caught between a rock and a hard place. There, you take the victory, and no one believes you as champion, but you get pay-per-view points, you get more money.
Take the victory,
or do you say no to not taking the disqualification, and you're the quote unquote the moral champion? But what do you gain from being a moral champion?
Nothing.
It should have been the referee's decision. I don't understand how it's the fighter's decision. It should have been the ref's decision.
So like for me, like back end of his light heavyweight career, like he was lucky to still hold the belt by the time he dropped it. And was that because the other fighters caught him up? No, for me, I don't think his skill level, the skill level of the other guys grew that much to get close to him. I think it's because he got sloppy. He was playing with his food. Probably knew he was better than everyone, but needed that time away. Obviously, there's conspiracies that people think that he popped for drugs and needed to serve a suspension. That's why he's not made his heavyweight return. Personally, I think that it's been money why he's not made the jump. I think it's very typical that Ngannou's now left the promotion. It's very glowing of him, said he's made the right move. And then apparently he changed his mind the second he heard that Ngannou said that I'm still the undisputed champion. No one has beaten me for the belt. And that's when Jones sort of flipped the switch and sort of went, F him.
Yeah.
He's left. He's taken his ball and gone home. So it's very interesting how his mind has switched completely. And maybe that's what he needs. Maybe that's what he needs, because Ciryl, on the other side, cool, calm, collected, not a fear, maybe a little bit too calm.
Yeah.
As his comments was, didn't really train.
Yeah, he said he can be a bit lazy. And
Ciryl,
are you going to be the guy that we look at and go, oh, I had all the talent in the world, but just didn't really take it seriously?
Don't be the Ravel Morrison of the UFC.
Yeah. And it's like, but at the same time, is this just mind games? Is this just... Because let's be real, Ciryl has got all the talent in the world. I tell you what, I think I saw from Ciryl in against Ty that I hadn't seen before, a real killer instinct and a meanness.
Yeah.
I didn't see that before.
He seems like a great guy to go for a beer with.
Yeah, but it's not even that. Just even in the fight, like it feels like he's trying to outpoint you rather than really hurt you. Whereas Jones, I don't think Jones goes in there to outpoint anyone. I think he goes in there to inflict long-term damage on people.
Yeah, like
Ciryl doesn't
make
no
mistake. Like people think, oh, is Jones going to be this? Jones going to be that? Like he's still going to have the killer in him. He's still going to have that killer instinct.
Yeah.
Like my only issue with Jones at heavyweight, especially now Ngannou's not there anymore. Like if you see the images, like he's packed on a lot of upper muscle. His legs have still stayed the same.
Yeah. Is he going to?
My issue is what's he going to weigh at? Yeah, I know Cyryl's going to probably weigh 235, 240. That's what
I reckon he'll be heavier than Ciryl.
But I expect to be heavier than Ciryl, but Cyryl's going to be quick. It's going to be bop, bop, bop. It's going to be punchy. But
this is intrigued though.
But this is going to be different for me because Ciryl, this is not going to be like the Ngannou fight for Ciryl where he thought it was going to be a kickboxing match and Ciryl out-wrestled him. Ciryl probably knows this is going to the ground at some point, and if I was him, I'd be working on my wrestling all the time.
Yeah, agreed.
All the time. I don't know whether or not you've watched Embedded. Have you seen
when it goes to don't spoil it for me. I've watched Countdown.
I watched the Countdown, and I'll be very concerned because what I've seen in Embedded is not a lot of Jones training. It's him recovering a lot. Like,
is that like swimming and things? I saw Chelsea's son tweeted about it.
Yeah. And I'm a bit worried that maybe he's packed on a little bit too much. And
I reckon it's probably wear and tear from all the years. Like, I mean, he's been doing this for a long time at the highest level. I reckon his body must be completely jacked up.
His knees must be shot to bits, you know.
His whole body must be.
Wrestling.
His whole body must be.
His level of sparring partners, debatable.
So, all right. I knew this was going to be a conversation starter.
Like, debatable. Yeah. As a Hudo great mind, you see who he's sparring with, I'll be a bit like, okay.
So, I actually think, so here's the thing. Because they were given this hype of, we got some of the best sparring partners. They are ranked UFC heavyweights.
1 and 8.
Most sparring partners aren't even in the UFC. Yeah. So even though they're not the biggest of names, in terms of sparring partners, he's got as high level sparring partners. Because remember, it's not like he can go and just Stipe, can you give me some rounds? Can't. So
Hey, Stipe
he's
and Curtis
effectively
Blades are
got
going to be in the crowd, by the way. They're going to be in the crowd.
who is sorry?
Stipe and Curtis Blades are going to be in the audience.
That makes sense.
So I can imagine it'll be Jones versus Stipe should Jones be successful.
I'll be honest with you. Before this fight was announced and Jones said he was moving up to heavyweight, I wanted to see Jones given a one fight heavyweight before giving a title, and I wanted that to be against Curtis Blades.
Oh, the wrestling. It'll have to be one hell of a wrestling match.
That's what I really want to see. I think Curtis Blades could potentially be the hardest fight in this division for Jon Jones, but I don't think we'll see that
I've
fight.
just got a feeling that it looks good on paper, like Ciryl, like the striking's gonna be quick. But I see it repeat being in the Ngannou one. I see a repeat. Yeah. I just see him out wrestled for 5 rounds, and it's gonna. I can already see the criticism now. I can already see us doing the watch along, going "F me, this is boring as fucking shit." Jon Jones just wrestled him. He looked shite. He's not looked great. He looks chunky. He looks slow. He looks heavy. Next guy he's gonna fight is gonna deck him. He's gonna chin him outright. I can already see it now because I see it that he's gonna out wrestle Ciryl. He's gonna land a few shots. He may even wobble him a little bit.
I don't think he'll wobble him.
But I don't know if you want to touch on the backup fighter that
has it been confirmed?
Keeping under wraps, and people thought, "Oh my god, is it Ngannou who's going to be the backup fighter?" No, it's Sergey Pavlovich.
I thought it would be. It has to be.
The Russian
I'll be honest.
Ngannou.
Should I tell you why? None of those two want to fight him because there's not enough evidence on what he can and can't do. All we've seen so far is when he touches someone's chin, it's a massive problem. But we don't know, can he take a punch? Because this is the thing. Everyone's scary until you realize you can hit them back.
Yeah.
What made Ngannou more scary was the fact that we saw he could take a beating, take a punch, and not give up on himself. When Overeem started to look chinny, people didn't fear him as much.
Boom. Yeah. I think Pavlovich is booked against Blades later on this year.
Yeah, he is.
Very interesting.
That's a very good fight.
Because if he can Derek Lewis, Curtis Blades, boom, catch him with an uppercut, they're likely to be fighting for a belt.
Yeah.
Next year, guaranteed. Right.
Absolutely.
How do you see it? Jon Jones' heavyweight debut. Is he going to cement GOAT status, become a 2-8 world champ? Or can
I see it going just how you described it. I see him wrestling. Why would you stand up there with Ciryl Gane and have a kickboxing fight at a new weight class with a naturally heavier man? Absolutely not. You Greco-Roman wrestle him. You beat him down for a couple rounds. You tire him out. You take that gas tank and you get the 3rd round stoppage. I think you get 3rd round stoppage, ground and pound.
You know, I see it. I reckon it'll go 5 rounds because I reckon Jones is. I reckon he's going to want to test out his gas tank with the extra weight. That's my only thing. That's why I think we're going to be moaning, saying it's a ball fest at the end when it's like 7 o'clock in the morning, and it dragged. So I'm going to go Jones by unanimous decision, 4 rounds to 1. And then
I don't think Gane's going to win a round.
You don't think he's going to win a round? No. I think he might just edge the first round, maybe. And Jones is going to be like, "Okay, you had your fun. Now it's time for my fun." And then he's just going to wrestle him. And then, hey, have you seen what people want him to walk out to, like the Homelander thing?
Yeah, I was
that, or like the Thanos one is like, you can live with your own failure. And where does that leave you? Right.
I reckon he'll come out to "I'm Coming Home" from P. Diddy. That seems to be his song, or "The Champ Is Here" by Jadakiss.
Oh, please,
those seem to be his 2 songs. If he comes out to Homeland, it'll be hilarious.
Oh, please, she just goes, "I'm just better." I'm just better. Yeah, but please,
that'd be brilliant.
That'd be goated. I might change my mind if he does it, but I don't think he'll get away with it.
He won't, but that'd be brilliant.
Well, everyone, that is the preview wrapped up for UFC 285. Massive thank you to Callum for joining us.
Massive thank you to you, bro. Always a pleasure doing this.
It's always great fun. It's always great fun.
It is.
And everyone, if you want to catch us on the weekend for the UFC watch along, make sure to meet us on the Sanderson Show. Link will be in the description for the channel. Make sure, and link will be in the title as well, to make sure that you subscribe to Callum's channel. He is so close to 900 subs. The goal is 1,000 subs for UFC London. Maybe a bit short, but we're going to do it.
We're going to try, yeah.
Hook or by crook, we're going to get to 1,000 subs for the start of UFC London. So make sure that you meet us at the standard time of 3 a.m. on the Sunday.
Fun.
Be fun. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Check out the Sanderson Show as well.
Thank you, bro.
Callum, tell the people what you did on the channel over the last couple of days.
Yes, I spoke to a renowned journalist called Colin Crandall. Shout out to Colin Crandall. Got a chance to chop out with him. He's been a UFC journalist since UFC 1. So he's got a really good connection with a lot of the fighters, has some really good inside knowledge and everything. So it was really good sitting down and speaking to him and chopping it up. And then, managed to go on a Twitter space and speak to Drew Dober, and old school MMA fighter of Eve Edwards. So that was all fun as well. So,
Drew Dober interview coming soon.
yeah. Hopefully that would be nice for both of us.
Yeah,
for both of us.
Yeah, for both of us.
Yeah.
So everyone, make sure to check out that interview. I'll put the link for that interview in the description as well. So make sure you go and check that out. And until Sunday, everyone, we'll see you then.
Let's go. Smash the like button.
Yeah, smash the like button.